Question that just popped into my head. So we talked about employees. So do you remember the first person you hired? Are they still with you? First person you fired? Did anything come out of that, like in terms of for yourself, like at a self-growth level? Like, did you feel that you were able to make the decisions as a person based on your like relationships, or based on the priorities for your business? How did that work?
Yeah, the first person, it was a couple from Sri Lanka actually. When I opened the business for my brother, I was the only worker and my brother is a worker. We have nobody else. It's a tough business, So this couple walked in, even in 2-3 days after we opened the business. And I told my brother, I said, let's hire them right away because she knows how to make samosas. The lady was so nice, and her name was Kara. Rest in peace. She was such a good lady, husband, wife, fantastic people. So they were my first employees. Her husband was a nurse and she was a housewife and she was looking for a job.
How long did they last?
They lasted for a long time. Then later on, she was taking care of my children also. Then after that, we did hire a chef and all that. But first few months, you cannot get a chef also. So we had to look for a chef. And then after 6 months, I went back to Toronto at that time, till I bought the place. And so a couple of times we had to, get the chefs. For firing somebody, I had never fired anybody. In last few years, couple of years, I had to fire an employee. People come to me, for help a lot. And young kids, they're looking for PR and this, that, and nobody's giving them PR. And they come to me and I talk to him. This is 5 years ago. I talked to the guy. I said, look, your reference is very bad, but you are young. I don't want to see you going back because you have come here to make your life, I said, I will hire you. I'll get you the PR also, but you have to work with me for 5 years at least so that I get my value.
Return on investment.
Yeah. So I hired him. He was a good worker, everything, no problem. I got him PR also. 3 years after, he got his PR also because you have to show all your paper, what kind of pay they're making, high pay and all that. 2 years ago when COVID happened, and we are not supposed to have anybody sitting in the restaurant. They were checking off and on if somebody is sitting in the restaurant because it was not allowed. Nobody can dine in. So one day I come in and I see somebody sitting in the corner, and I asked my girl, I said, who is she? She says, that's his girlfriend. We are not allowed. And they were checking off and on. She cannot sit here, She has to go sit in the car, whatever, till you're finished, because it was around 7:30. And he says, no. And the girl told me that she has been coming consistently for the last few days. And I got so scared because somebody was telling me, oh, in that side, health department guys roaming around, they're checking. And I got so scared because if they check, we are going to be fined, $5,000 or something like that. So I go in the kitchen, I tell her to go sit in the car. Oh no, she finished early, so she's just sitting. I said, look, we are not allowed. I don't mind if we were allowed, but we are not allowed and I'll be fined and all that. He said, no, she's just sitting there. She's not dancing. He gave me a reply like that. I said, no, this is not happening. It's only 3 years he's working. I have no chef. If he goes, I'm going to be in the kitchen. But I had to take the decision. I called my accountant, sent him letter at night, 2-week pay out. So I had to do the decision. It's tough,
Yeah.
I lost a very nice person. He was a good worker. But after he got his PR, the attitude did change also.
He doesn't need you anymore.
He doesn't need me.
So out of what you're saying, and I'm also an employer, this is a very only one time firing in all these years. You must have a secret to keep all these employees.
Yes.
Or do you just push them so they resign and they run away? What do you do?
Nobody
or do you make them like you?
No, even people who have worked with me, they still come and talk to me.
Nice.
We are I tell them, I say when I train, because I don't have any professional, training in the beginning. I made a training manual that this is a family restaurant. People are coming to your house. You treat them nicely. And this is just a restaurant, but it is a family restaurant. So you're going to treat them same. There's no rocket science. This is basic. And if they are in the restaurant, all these employees, we have fun, I don't tell them don't eat this or don't eat that. students were hired. They used to come from Algonquin College. I asked them, have you eaten anything? No. I said, okay, first have your rice and whatever you like with it, chickpeas or butter chicken, whatever small meal. Have it and then start your food. So it is like a family. I'm a motherly touch, you know. So that motherly touch goes far away. So they are all, very happy. When I order food from Costco, apples are coming, grapes are coming, bananas are
Generous.
coming. Generous. Everybody. So, and juices are coming, lemonades are coming. So it's so hot, this whole time. And then they make shakes and things like that. So it's like a very different atmosphere from other kitchens that people have worked. They have told me that the owner doesn't let them eat anything or drink anything. I say, why? You are not a worker. You are all working like a family, What difference does it make, If you are making money, they are making money, we are having fun. Busy time, sometimes nobody eats, when we are so busy, nobody has time to eat. That time also they are working. So you have to be very friendly with them, and that compassion should be there for your employees. If they care for you, you have to care for them. That's the only way you are making money. Otherwise, I'll be working, because after that I had to fire that guy. I had to work for almost 2 years in the kitchen.
2 years?
Yes.
Oh my! It took you 2 years to find a replacement.
Yeah. Now I have, 2 foreign workers also. Okay. Over the years, we have called many people. I've been there like 36 years. So many times we have called people, and sometimes you get them here, sometimes you have to call them if you can't find them. I've trained so many people who were students, and they have become chefs. Oh, wow. The one who is working with me, he is an engineer, and he has 2 jobs now. He has worked as an engineer also, but he works with me also in the evening as a chef. And he can manage the whole restaurant also. Wow. And he was a dishwasher when he came in.
Wow.
He tells other people, these 2 professionals just came, and he said, I used to stand there washing dishes. And one day he came to me, I said, I can do it. I said, okay, do it. I give chance. Why not? Everybody knows everything in my restaurant. If I'm not there, the girl who is working there, remember, she was there?
Yes.
Even she knows everything.
She was so kind.
Yeah. She is with me for the last 22 years.
My God, 22 years. 22 Still years. Sticking around.
Time goes by so fast. That's one thing I've learned. I don't like that. One day, even when I hit 50, I panicked one day.
Are you 50 already?
I am way up.
You don't look like it.
I turned 50 because when I took the restaurant, I think I was around 40 or 44 something. I turned 50 and all of a sudden I went into depression kind that I haven't achieved anything in life. I'm already 50, I will go, and nothing has been done, this, that. It took me a week or so to settle myself mentally.
How did you cure yourself? How did you tell yourself, no, I shouldn't be depressed? How did you recover from this depression?
In those days, these days you have so much, In those days, it was nothing like that. It was just my own psychology, kicked in, and I said, no, I have to calm down. And I didn't tell anybody what I was going through.
You just told yourself, get your shit together.
Yeah, but
get
now
back to work.
There is so much help, for
way more tools now and easier access to tools.
Because in our time in back home, if you ever, know about it, I had done bachelor in psychology. I went to university. I said, okay, I'll do master in psychology. I go there are only 2 students. And the teacher, one teacher, 2 students, and the teacher had such thick glasses.
That's why there's 2 students.
I ran from there. I told my mom, I said, no. I was thinking I'll go do psychology masters. I said, no, I cannot do it. So then, because I had done Indian classical dance, so I was the option to do history of art, So I chose that. But now I think of it, I said, now, these days, mental health and the psychologist is a big business right now. And people are getting help, In those days, it was not like that. Gossip is a mental health, I will say, in those days.
You go talk, gossip.
You go talk.
Maybe do some yoga after.
Who knows? Even yoga was not that popular that time.
Really?
Now it is popular.
So, if I heard you correctly, you started your entrepreneurial journey at 40?
Yes.
So do you have any advice for women who might think that it might be too late to start this type of path at 40 or later, even in life?
Even later.
Even later.
Even later, whatever your passion is, You say, okay, this is my passion. I'm too old, I cannot do this. Age is just nothing when it comes to doing something. So I always say, anytime you want to start something, whether it is a restaurant or your own kind of a passion that you want to develop and make it your business, and no age is barrier for that. People can easily, plan it out on a small level in the beginning and then see how it goes. It can flourish,
And do you think that in your particular case, being a woman or a racialized woman helped you or held you back? Like, do you think that it assisted? Did you have limiting beliefs because of that maybe, or being a new immigrant to this country? Like, how would you advise somebody who didn't come from an immigrant background versus somebody who did? Like, are there differences?
For immigrants, you can say, these days people are highly educated. There should not be any barrier. But when I came to this country, I had already done my master's. And the city that I came from was actually quite similar to Ottawa, very modern city. It has been designed by Le Corbusier, the architect. Architecture is also like that. But when I came to Canada, I never felt, like a stranger. I always felt that I know this place,
Because you told yourself, I'm not a stranger.
I'm not a stranger. I visualized that things can be like this or things can be that. I didn't have to ask anybody. I go around, I check things and learn visually, So those are the things that I did. And I advise people to not be afraid of learning visually, because that is the best way to learn visually, and then read about it if you want to.
So what is my co-host trying to ask? You had so many cards you could have played. The racial card, I can do it because I'm not Canadian, whatever, or I'm new here, immigrant. The mother, the wife, like seriously, you had all those circumstances, and you were 40. And you bought a business.
And I bought a business.
So, like, what's the secret? Is it just like be fearless and just go for it, or what's the secret?
Be confident in doing whatever you want to do. Don't be afraid. If you have taken a step, then follow it through. My own thing is that I follow it through. I will never leave anything unfinished. Even my daughter, she was doing a course 2-3 days ago, and first day she said, so boring. I say leaders don't leave things.
Say that again.
Leaders don't leave things halfway. They have to complete it. By the end, you will know. If you just leave it, you wouldn't know.
Leaders don't leave things unfinished.
Unfinished. You have to finish them. Even if you don't feel, it's boring, I didn't learn anything. It will be your experience, That will one day will help you. The racial thing also, I've never looked at it as a racial, if you ask me. I always say people are same all over the world, no matter which race they come from. We should not judge them in any which way possible. That card also didn't play with me at all.
Good for you. Good for you.
I never thought that. Because one time I had workers, nobody knew each other's language.
Oh, wow.
Chinese, Sri Lankan, Lebanese.
Wow.
Nobody knew.
It looks like you only hire fresh immigrants. Why is that?
No, not fresh immigrants.
She hires people she likes. She's just like energetically
people walk in.
But no one knows the language.
Yeah, one time I had a Chinese girl.
So that means they're new. That means
Chinese girl. She was highly educated. She was waiting to go to the Carleton University, and then she was looking for a job. And I had, every time if I have a job, I give few hours. Doesn't matter to me. So she came and she didn't know English. So many girls have learned English in Taj at the restaurant, by talking to people. I said, go talk to people. There's another girl who works here. She's from Romania. She has worked with me before for many years. Now they've moved back from USA. And I told them, I said, when you come back, you know where to stay till you find your own. And they stayed with me. And now one of them is working in the restaurant again. She didn't know English. Slowly they learn it. When you're in the environment, you learn it, basic English.
Nice.
So that is not the problem with me.
So how do you find your employees? Like, are they walking into the restaurant?
They sometimes just
referrals?
walk in. Most of the time they walk in.
Because you
Most of the time.
You mentioned, I heard the word going with the flow.
Yes.
And then you talked about energy slightly. So is it just like an inclination, like you like
Oh, yes.
like a feeling when
Yeah,
someone walks
there
into
was
your
a girl
restaurant?
who came in and I said, okay, come in. And she was there just for 2-3 hours. And you feel that her energy is not there. So end of the 3 hours, I told my girl, I said, give her $50, tell her we'll call her when we need her.
Okay.
Everybody gets paid, no matter how many hours they come. And I said, no, this is not going to work. That I know from my intuition. If somebody comes
Yes.
in, the intuition plays a big role,
That was literally going to be my next question. Like, do you operate out of a place of intuition
Yeah,
or
my
ego?
intuition goes very well. And sometimes it has happened to me. I had no worker. I needed somebody to come and give me break. And I booked my ticket to visit my aunt in South Carolina. I said, I booked the ticket, but I think somebody is looking for me. The intuition, was
Yeah.
so high. And I had an old worker. He was working in Montreal. After a couple of days, he walked in. He says, I was looking for you. I said, I was looking for you too. I have to go for 2 weeks to my aunt, and you better take care of the kitchen for 2 weeks. He says, okay, I'll do it. That I cannot believe how big that intuition. I called my aunt. I said, I have the guy for 2 weeks.
Well,
I'm
good for
coming.
you. I have lots of multiple choice questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to ask this in a minute, not exactly right now. And you're
Uh-huh.
going to pick the answer really quick. But first, I want to recap on something you said, and I actually learned about a year and a half ago. And this is really important for everyone who's listening. If you say, I'm going to put a shirt on today, and then you end up not putting it on. If you say, I'm going to go to the gym, you don't do it. All these micro things, and you don't do it and you don't finish it, it will affect on your bigger goals, because you will go to the bigger goals and there's an enemy in your mind saying you can't do
Yes.
it because you already said, I'm going to start this, you didn't do it. So when you actually have a plan, you're going to do something for the future, you won't do it. Your brain will be absolutely against it.
Oh, yeah, your brain will be blocked.
Yes, that's really good point that you mentioned. All right. Multiple choice questions. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Question, quick answers, okay? What makes you rich? Money, knowledge, or happiness?
Knowledge and happiness.
Why did you start your business? Lack of job opportunities, trying to prove something, or following a dream?
I would have been out of work if I didn't take the business.
Okay. Money to me is a protection, a weapon, a bridge.
Money is my best friend. I keep it very safe.
Protection, a weapon, a bridge.
Protection.
I'm successful because I was patient, I was impatient, or in between.
Patient.
If I could go back, I would invest my money in real estate, on myself as like hiring mentors, coaches, or on stocks and crypto and all this stuff.
I'm already in stocks and real estate.
Look at you, you're everywhere. Do you give back? Yes or no?
Yes. To food banks and everywhere.
Are you a strict boss, flexible, strict, or asshole?
I'm very flexible.
Not asshole? No? Okay.
Not at all.
Which political party do you support?
I'm not so much into politics. I go by looks, I say, okay, if Trudeau is looking good, I'll give him vote.
So you voted for Justin Trudeau?
Looks. But not now. Now they're highly.
Yeah, now you need to look on
criticized.
something else.
I have to look for the brain also.
Does your business affect your life? It's my whole life, or I have a life balance?
I have a life balance.
Work hard or work smart?
Work smart. Remote control.
Would you rather deal with clients or with your team? So would you rather talk to the consumers or manage the team?
No, I like to talk to consumers and manage the team both
Nice.
same time.
You have to pick your favorite
Team.
team. What is a take-home message? I want you today to personally talk to the ladies. And that's why I was so excited to have you today. I look out there and ladies are giving up. They don't think they can be business owners. They don't think they can be entrepreneurs. They're going after the easy ways to make money. And I'm not going to name so many details. And I know plenty, and they have such a brilliant brain. But they think, oh my God, I'm a lady. I'm going to be rejected here. I'm going to be rejected there. I'm going to this. I'm going to that. You had every excuse to say, I'm going to be rejected, and they didn't use it. So I need you to give a take-home message to those ladies. And we actually want to show them that they can do it.
Well, I will personally personally think from my own experience that if you have the mindset that you want to do something and you're not doing that, so pay attention to that first. Don't give up on yourself, because the can do, mantra is something which will execute when you do it. If you give up before, how you know that it is not being done? Like my business was one time going not very good because I had another business and it was not picking up. And I had another business person came on Maryville Road, Rattan Furniture, and I had an employee who really needed the money. I cannot fire him. And I go to that Rattan store, he just opened, and I said, welcome to Ottawa. He came from Peterborough at that time. His name was Chris, very nice guy. I said, you need me. I told him. Did I know how to sell the furniture? But I said to myself, if I go take the job, I can keep my employee, because I don't want to fire him. He's a good person. He had family. And I go to him. I said, you need me. He says, why? Because you're new in town and I can sell your furniture. I have a business here, restaurant business. He says, why you're not there? I said, my employee needs the job. So I'm free. I'll come and sell your paper. I said, you're writing everybody's name there on the paper, I said, I'll write my name, but you will call me. He said, are you sure? I said, yeah. Second day he calls me. Come. I worked with him for 6 months, sold 50,000 worth of his furniture.
Wow.
But so I tell women, choose a respectful career. Don't give up on yourself to think that you want to make a quick money. If you are not making quick money, budget yourself. Don't give up on yourself. And till you don't find what you really want to do, give yourself time.
Is it possible or impossible for women these days to start a business and succeed? If it's possible, is it hard or it's easy?
It is very easy these days. These days it is easy. Whatever business you feel you are good at, focus on it. Not only the restaurant business, maybe you are good at doing a hairstyle or something. Go learn that. Maybe you want to go help somebody in the health industry. Do that. There is always a respectful way of making money than whatever people are now doing on TikTok and some other places, all these girls, and they don't even tell their parents what they're doing. Don't, misuse yourself, because you have been brought up, and if you're going through any mental issues, take help. Government is here to give you help. That is very good. Our healthcare system, I must thank, that there is help for people. Go take therapies. If something is not clear, find a person who can be your mentor, because mentors are there to help out. And listen to them also. And for women, they can achieve so much these days. During COVID, how many people are cooking food at home? Do you know, to survive?
Many.
Many people were doing it because there was no other way of doing it then. So we women actually, are the makers. Their mind is always have answers. We never have any
answers and questions.
And questions, but we know how to answer them and create things. People were doing things, So this is the best way, for women not to be afraid of doing whatever they want to do. If they need to talk to someone, I'm at Taj, they can come and talk to me. There have many women have come to me and talked to me about things. Even people who are in food business, I give them advice also, because I'm not afraid if they're my competition or not. I've given advice also for those. And women who have some mental issues also, they need to talk to someone and they don't feel good talking to somebody else, or their marriage problems, this, that. So I have talked, and women can do, whatever they put their mind to it. So don't misuse or let your life go just like that.
Nice.
For not doing
I know you
anything.
had written some notes to read for the audience. Did you cover it all, or
I
you want
think,
to mention a couple things before we end?
I just said this can-do thing was I had written that I learned my first cooking lesson was from my dad when I told him, I was observing him cooking, and he was making that chapati, that thing, and you have to make a dough also, and I was looking at him and I said, Dad, I can do it. He says, you can do it? I said, yes. He said, you can make the dough also? I said, yeah, I can do it. And I was that time, I think in grade 3 or 4. I still remember that. And I made the dough, and then I made the chapati, and then he showed me how to make it on the pan. He says, You have to put it like this, that. So it was that young age, being observant was very, stayed with me. So I used to observe things, and that's the reason I said I used to say, I can do it. I mean, I will never say I can't do this. No matter if it goes wrong, let it go wrong. At least you tried. You can correct it later on.
So
But
everyone,
you can do it.
we should thank
Ladies.
this amazing businesswoman for coming here today, help us and teach us so many business lessons. Honestly, now you reminded me how much kindness can get you in life.
Kindness
and
is
I think
very
that was your
important.
biggest weapon. And go support her restaurant, Taj Restaurant.
Thank you.
On Melville Road. The
And
food
do
is
invest
so
in,
good. Get ready, you will be addict.
Yes.
Trust me, you'll get addict to this place. It's
And
so
go
good.
invest, women, in stock market, in real estate, Airbnb, wherever.
Just invest everywhere.
Invest everywhere.
It's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.